Okay, let's take up NIS2 Article 21, that which deals with risk management obligations for energy providers. So there is a use case. If this use case is given for as question, so how we are supposed to go about it? Let's go through it. Article 21 NIS2 Directive, Cybersecurity Risk Management Measures. A medium-sized energy provider does not conduct regular risk assessments. Security updates are installed only irregularly, and there is no incident response plan in place. Following a cyber attack, the company experiences a multi-day outage of its IT systems. First question: what obligations arises from Article 21 in NIS2 regarding risk management? Second question: which measures should the company have implemented before the incident occurred? Third, why are technical and organizational security measures important for essential and important entities? So this being a energy provider, so it is obviously a important and essential entity. So the answer for this use case scenario is Article 21 NIS2 Directive, Cybersecurity Risk Management Measures. First one, obligation arising from Article 21 NIS2. Article 21 of Directive EU 2022/2555 NIS2 obliges essential and important entities to take appropriate and proportionate technical, operational and organizational measures to manage the risk posed to the security of the network and information system, and to prevent or minimize the impact of incidents on recipients of their service and no other services. Key structural obligations. Risk-based approach. Article 21 first point. Measure must be based on all hazards approach, considering the state of art, relevant standards and implementation, costs relative to the risk exposure, size and likelihood/severity of incidents. Minimum baseline measures. Article 21 second point. The directive lists a non-exhaustive catalog that must be covered, including risk analysis and information system security policies, incident handling, business continuity, backup measurement, disaster recovery, crisis management, supply chain security, security in network and information systems, acquisition, development and maintenance, including vulnerability handling and disclosure. F. Policies to assess the effectiveness of measure, basic cyber hygiene and security training. H. Cryptography and encryption policies, human resource security, access control, asset management, multi-factor authentication, secured communications. Management body responsibility. Article 20. Closely linked management bodies must approve and oversee these measures and can be held liable on non-compliance. Proportionality principle. Article 21 first point. Obligations scale with the entity's size and criticality, but for an energy provider as an essential entity under Annexure 1, the standard applied is stricter and enforcement is more rigorous. Ex ante and ex post supervision under Article 32. The energy provider in the scenario appears to have breached risk analysis, incident handling and E. Vulnerability patch management obligations. So here the risk analysis is not done, followed by B, that is incident handling, and E, that which is vulnerability and patch management, security, network and information system acquisition, deployment and maintenance, including vulnerability handling and disclosure. Second, measures that should have been implemented beforehand. Deficiency in scenario, required measures under Article 21. No regular risk assessments, documented periodic risk analysis methodology covering assets, threats, vulnerabilities and residual risk. Article 21, second point A. Risk analysis and information security system security policies. Irregular patching, formalized vulnerability and patch management process, including timeliness for critical updates and vulnerability disclosure handling. Article 21 second E. So vulnerability handling. No incident response plan, documented incident handling procedures, detection, classification, escalation, containment, reporting chain. Article 21 2B. Incident handling. Multi-day outage, business continuity, disaster recovery plan, including backup strategy and crisis management procedures. Article 2C. Business continuity, backup management, disaster recovery, crisis management. Implied, no oversight. Board level approval and monitoring of cyber security measures. Article 20. Staff training. Article 21 2G. Basic cyber security hygiene and security training. Access control and multi-factor authentication. Article 21 2 I and J. Human resource security, access control, asset management, multi-factor authentication, secured communications. Additionally, the company would have had reporting obligations under Article 23, an early warning within 24 hours, an incident notification within 72 hours, and a final report within a month, none of which can be met without a functioning incident response plan. For the third question, why technical and organizational measures matter for essential important entities. Systemic or critical infrastructure risk. Energy providers fall under Annexure 1 as an essential entity precisely because disruption has cascading effects on public safety, other critical sectors and economy. A multi-day IT outage in energy supply can affect grid stability, dependent industries and citizen basic needs. Legal liability exposure. Under Article 21 combined with Article 20 and Article 32-33, non-compliance can trigger supervisory measures, binding instructions and administrative fines up to 10 million or 2% of global turnover for essential entities, whichever is higher out of these two. Personality liability of management. Personal liability of management. Article 21 allows national authorities to hold management bodies accountable for infringements, including temporary bans from managerial functions in serious or repeated cases. Preventive versus reactive cost asymmetry. Proportionate ex ante measures, patching, risk assessment, IR planning, incident response planning are demonstrably cheaper than the operational, reputational, regulatory and potential third-party liability costs following an incident. This is the economic rationale embedded in the state of art and cost of implementation proportionality test in the Article 21(1). Trust and market function. For essential services, the resilience measures are not merely internal compliance, they protect the functioning of the internal market and public confidence in critical service community, which is the stated purpose of NIS2. Practical conclusion for the case: the company likely violated 21(2) A, B, C and E. A, B, C, A, B, C as well as E. A is risk analysis and information system security policies, incident handling, business continuity, backup management, disaster recovery, crisis management, followed by E, that is patching and vulnerability handling and disclosure. A, B, C and E. This exposes it to the supervisory action under Article 32 for essential entities, on-site inspection, security audits, binding instruction fines, and possible personal liability of management under Article 20.